AJ.
Hey, can you say something?
Yes, I'm audible.
Hey, yeah, I can hear you. It's a little quiet, but it might be on my end. How's it going?
Mhm. It's going good. It's going good. How about you?
Yeah, it's going good. I'm actually traveling at the moment. I'm in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you
It's good.
calling from?
So I'm calling from New Delhi.
From New Delhi.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. So, yeah, we messaged a little bit. Um, you are one of the most persistent people so far. Well, you're new to coding, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you said you wanted to learn some stuff, but
Yeah.
what? Tell me a little bit about what you've tried so far, and what you've been wanting to learn.
Right. So for now, like only I have a problem statement that I think that is good enough to work on, which
Mm-hmm.
is I work at a marketing company. I'm a marketing manager myself. So we have several meetings throughout the week. And I've seen that the meetings that come out to be the most efficient ones are the ones where somebody is recording everything. Like, somebody's taking notes, somebody is
Right.
writing down all the actionables, who's going to do it until when time is that work going to be complete and everything. And when it doesn't happen, most of the meetings are like not good enough and not efficient, right? And they're not productive. So I think that there's this gap in the market that all those transcriptors and all those tools which do the recording of the meetings and write notes, those are not as efficient as a person who would be physically present at the meeting and take notes. So that is one gap that I see there. The other one is I live in India and English is not the first language, right? So we speak a mix of regional
Hey, one,
languages and
one
English.
second. 1 second. I can hear you okay, but Sammy says it's kind of hard to hear. Um, do you have is there any way to make the audio a little bit clearer?
Yes. Is it good now? Is it better?
Say something?
Or should I just, is it better now?
That's a bit better for me. I
Mhm.
could I could
Maybe I'm
understand
just,
what you were saying, but it was just a little bit fuzzy, that's all.
all right. So is it good now? Or should I try something else?
Um, okay, yeah, it's fine. Keep going. We're good.
All right. Sam is good. It's good. So should I also repeat what I said or continue from where I stopped?
So basically what I got is that, you have a lot of meetings and that when the meetings are well transcribed and notes are taken well, that they're a lot more efficient, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I was saying was I'm from India, so we speak a mix of Hindi, which is the regional language, and English. And I don't see a very good tool out there which transcripts and summarizes a mix of languages, right? So I think that is one gap that is good enough to work on,
Oh,
and that is
so
how.
you mean like multiple languages in one meeting?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Cool. What's the closest product that exists right now?
So I found this one tool. Let me just check what was its name. So it was TLGV. It's a AI powered meeting recorder, which
How do you,
was
can
for
you say it
Google.
again? T
TLDV.io. I
oh
can
T
drop
O.
in the chat.
Cool. Here. Yeah, meeting. Okay, cool. Yeah, I use Otter. Have
All
you
right.
have you looked at Otter? But I think it's quite similar.
Yeah, I've not used it, but I've seen the website and everything. So, but I've used this particular product, and it transcribes multiple languages at the same time, but it was not really good enough.
Okay, got it. And so what languages are spoken at your company?
So Hindi is the most widely one which is used throughout India, and there are then other languages, regional languages, which are not like spoken by a lot of people, but Hindi is one that is spoken by a majority of the people.
So mainly Hindi and English?
Right.
Okay, cool. Well, um, to make I have to say, to make like a production ready product, that can scale and that can do this for a lot of people is not a small thing. But to make to learn the basics and to make some demos or prototypes is is definitely something that I think with the technology today can be done by a beginner. So, um, what's your experience in programming so far?
So to be honest, I've not done a lot. I think that the last thing that I did was I did a Code Academy course in JavaScript. I did not
Mm.
complete it. I partially did it, and then I
Okay.
left it in between. So yep, that's the best thing that I've done.
How long ago was that?
I think it was 5 months, maybe 5, 6 months, I guess.
Okay. Was it interesting?
Yes, it was interesting, but at the same time, I thought that I need somebody to work on this with me because I was just doing it all alone on a computer, and I found it was a little, I would say, difficult, and I would also say a little bit, a little bit slow to learn all by myself.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, I think the best way is, I mean, of course, there's people like me who are down to help as well. But I also think the best way is also finding like a good group of people that that are willing to work on fun projects together. And I think also through this
right.
channel, hopefully we can help you to find some more people to work with as well. Like just this guy, Deepener, he's great. Like I've been coding Python with him recently, and he's also down to help out. I don't know why he was he was here half an hour ago, but next time maybe he'll join for the actual stream. Um, he probably maybe he went to bed. So have you so you're new to Python, right?
Right.
So this is what I would suggest. I'd suggest that we get started with a little bit of Python, and then look at we can either look at some APIs or some models for transcribing audio. Um, I know you want to do it in real time, so it's a lot easier to it's easier to do it not in real time, but then the next step is to do it in real time, and then yeah, there's a lot of actually useful libraries out there that we can use. So yeah, I think we can just kind of try some stuff. Let me show you Google Colab. So have you ever seen? Okay, have you ever seen this website? It's here. It's collab.research.google.com. Have you ever seen this?
No, not.
Cool. So this basically will let you. This is the best platform for running Python code, I think. I use it almost every day. Um, I have lots and lots of projects in here, just like small things I want to do, like finding stuff on GitHub, or scraping stuff off GitHub, maybe scraping something off YouTube, maybe like making a tic-tac-toe algorithm. So it's like really easy to quickly make stuff. So
Mhm.
you should go to Collab on your computer, and see if you can make a new project, and then we can sort of do some stuff together.
All right.
Just sign in with. Google. Let's see. Hmm. Did you get in?
Yes, I've gotten and I got created a new notebook. And I'm sure, should I share you an invite to that space?
So,
That
sorry,
that
can you just say it a little bit clearer?
So I signed up with the website that you shared, and I've created a new notebook. So should I send you an invite or something?
Oh, you can, but actually, Collab isn't that great with like coding at the same time, or haven't gotten that to work very well. So, I think it's fine if we just like work side by side.
All
And then
right.
if we need to, we can. Yeah, you can also add me later if we need to like share some code. That might be good.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
um, I was just trying to find our conversation on Instagram because we were chatting. I had sent some links, right?
Right, right.
But I have so many messages right now. I just finding that finding that again. Because I had sent two projects that were about transcribing audio. I think those would be fun. Another thing which I think we could try, which would be pretty maybe like a more basic thing, but good to start, would be Whisper. Have you heard of Whisper?
I think you sent to the website. So yes, I've seen the website.
Let's see. So this one. So this is the this is like OpenAI's Whisper model, and
This is the Micro Machine Man presenting the most miniature motorcade
it's
of
pretty
micro.
good. Um, it's pretty good at transcribing speech, and this is how it works. But we don't actually need to know any of that in order to use it. We just need to we just need to get uh, the speech to text API. So I think this is a pretty good place to start. We can like start with an audio file, and then we can basically figure out, we can just make a small script that will transcribe it, and then a lot of stuff will be new for you since you're new to Python. But we can just pause when we need to learn some new Python stuff. And
All right.
Sammy says there's also assembly AI. Thanks, Sammy. So there's always a lot of options, and some of them are even easier to use than OpenAI. So like this is the assembly AI, and pretty cool. A lot of them have like free pricing models. So access. So they'd be really similar in the way that we'd use them from Python. Um, almost exactly the same. So if I look at the like OpenAI documentation, this here is the whole example for transcribing an audio file, at this path using Whisper. Cool. So, Sammy, do you know if they do audio to audio translation? Because that would be kind of interesting. But we're mostly, Anshul, we're mostly interested in transcribing, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So in that case, I think either of these would work really well. So this is the OpenAI. I always look for a code sample first, just to see like, oh, how difficult is it going to be? And 9 lines of code, that's pretty good. that's definitely just something to get started. But we can also just look at the assembly AI because it's good to like have different options. And so here we're looking at like speech to text, which is what we want. And so this is cool actually because they have streaming. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So and I don't think OpenAI has that. So
They
yeah,
also have like, labeling the speaker. That's also cool.
they have what?
You can label speakers to your transcript. That's also cool.
Oh, with assembly AI, right? Um, yeah. Does Whisper? I don't think Whisper does that. Am I right? Um, I don't use these. As you can tell, I don't use these all the time. These APIs. I've only done. I did mostly. Um, I did mostly text to speech because
Mhm.
I like to listen to audiobooks, and sometimes I can't find them, so I make my own. But um, yeah. So I think Sammy says you need a paid account to do the streaming. That's probably not a huge deal, but OpenAI doesn't have streaming at all. I think I'll check. So OpenAI Whisper streaming. So here's like an example of repository of Whisper real time streaming, and this is not an official library, um, but this is another option we could use. And I'm guessing that because like in order to do streaming, so non-streaming would just be here's a file and then send the file to OpenAI and then get the text back. Streaming, obviously, it needs to be an open connection, and then we're always sending audio and it's always sending text. But we can use Whisper for that just by breaking stuff into pieces and sending one piece at a time and then adding the text together. And I think um, that's what this paper is about here, which is just no need to read the paper, but I think that's essentially what they're doing. So yeah, I think probably starting with Whisper is good. I also have a bunch of credits which you can use. So yeah, so I mean that should be that should help. And then if we
Yeah.
can just get that first simple example working, then we should be good. So I'm gonna give you the link to just lost it. I'm gonna give you the link to Whisper's speech to text, and then can you share your window with the collab notebook with me using Present?
Yeah.
Cool. And I just put like in the chat here the link to the docs, and yeah, I'll have you just go to that website and then copy the first example into the collab notebook.
On the Whisper website.
Yeah, so I just sent the link in the chat here
Okay.
to the Whisper documentation, and then you should see like quick start and then like a really simple example. Um,
Yes.
yeah. Cool. Now, this is not going to work right away for a couple of reasons, but it's like 80-90% there. Can you just like control plus a little bit just to make the text a little bigger? I don't have too much. Or just like command plus. Yeah, that's fine. So basically, um, you're new to Python, but what? Tell me of this. What makes sense? You know, what is it? Um, what can you understand just by looking at this without knowing Python?
So I think it's gonna open a file, and
Mhm.
we're gonna enter the location here of that file,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
then it's gonna run this model, which
Mm-hmm.
for one is going to do the transcription, and then
Yeah.
it's gonna put that transcript text into this txt file. And
Right. Okay. The first two parts you got perfect, spot on, and then for the last part where it says print, that yeah, there's not really you wouldn't really know this without having used Python before. But print is just a way to print text to the screen. So
all right,
this this won't save it to a file yet, but if you actually want to save it to a file, um, you know, we can do that really easily. So you see where it says generate at the top, like generate with AI.
yeah,
This might be a good way to learn. So if you click on that, um, then basically you can kind of use that as a way to. Oh, maybe this is just the. Oh yeah, here. So I would just say like put in that box like, write the text output to a text file, you know, um, and it should give you some Python code to do that. Uh, oh,
I think
does
it's
it?
you gotta.
Oh, really? That's weird because I've used it before, and I don't
It's like I
have.
think there it is.
Oh, it did it. Okay, cool. Um, okay, so this first one is like nonsense. You see where it says at the top there's like 104?
Yeah.
Next. Okay, maybe next. I think what happened is, hey, okay, that's pretty good. Um, one thing that I noticed is like it didn't seem to use your existing code. So
Mhm.
you see it's not using transcription.txt, but it's doing hello world. Um, now in a Jupyter notebook, um, it gives you these different blocks, which are called cells. And cells are, it's just like normal code files. Well, it's just like having one large code file, but the cells just make it easier to rearrange things, to reorder things. And we want this printing cell to come after the transcription cell. So that if you use that like down arrow, that's that white down arrow, that's kind of towards the above the block.
Oh, this block or this block? This
Yeah, so
one?
you're yeah, that one. So now you see it just move that block below.
Oh,
Yeah, that's better. And actually, so this first block won't work yet because we're not connected to OpenAI, and the file isn't there. But if you would click the play button next to the second block, you'll actually see that that should work fine.
this one, right? Run cell.
Yeah, run that cell. So now it's running. And honestly, I actually use ChatGPT a lot of the time and then copy and paste it into Collab. But like, just because that's mainly because I'm used to ChatGPT. Um, but this will work, using Claude will work. And so we don't see any output here because we didn't use a print statement, but we see the green check mark, which is good. Um, and if you want to actually see the files in your notebook, you can click that folder icon on the left sidebar underneath the key. Yeah. And so now we actually see output.txt. And if we click on that, maybe sometimes you have to double click. Yeah, then it will open up the file on the right side. So yeah, you just kind of generated some code without knowing any Python, and it worked. So good job. And yeah, that's a really good way to learn, as well as using ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. So now we want to get that first cell to work. And I think there's pretty much two things we need to do before this will work. But actually, a good way to learn is just to run it. So you can just run that cell and see what happens. Okay, yeah, actually, there's three things that we need to do. So this is like not the most intuitive part of Collab, but I'm going to show you how to install a module. And yeah, basically that's saying at the very top, it's saying we need to link to code from OpenAI in order to use their API. And yeah, if you try and import something that's not installed, you just get an error. So I'll just like show you the way to do that really quickly, and it's pretty easy. You only need to do this once. So here, the code that you had was something like from OpenAI import OpenAI, and that should give an error. And then the solution to that is this exclamation point pip, which is like the Python package manager, install OpenAI. And it's just sort of like installing an app on your phone or your computer, but it's installing it into this notebook. And we only need to run this once, and then once that's done, this is not going to give an error anymore. So I would do this like in probably a new cell at the very top, and then just run it once. Cool. And yeah, you can move that cell to the top just so that it's kind of out of the way. Yeah, so use that. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Now let's go ahead and run the second cell again.
They did that too.
There it is. Yeah. Cool. So let's see what we have now. Now it's really tempting to just get overwhelmed when you see an error message that's like almost a whole page long. um, but let's just take a deep breath and like walk through it. We see
Alright.
here. Okay, OpenAI error. So OpenAI's code is giving us an error. And then we see which line it's coming from. That arrow, that green arrow is pointing to the second line. The green arrow at the first one, yeah, that's pointing to, this is our code here. So we have our first line was the one that we just fixed, and now the second one is failing. And then, so that's like that's pointing to our code. And then the second part is OpenAI's code. And so if we just skip to the bottom, we see, okay, the error is the API key client option must be set by passing API key to the client or setting the OpenAI key environment variable. Main thing is environment variable is basically a setting. And yeah, it's a setting where you can store useful information like your API key. So I will make you a API key because I have a lot extra on my account right now. And if anyone else needs a key for the next week, let me know. So here, so I'm going to make you a key, and I'll show you how that looks on my screen. So so yeah, so this is like my OpenAI account, and then I can just like I can literally just make a new key and just put in whatever I want to call it, and then I'll hide my screen so that the key is private, and then I'll send that like to you on the private chat. So what we would do with that key is, so I'll just make another test key actually, so people can see what I'm doing. Okay, we have to do this. Whoa. Okay. I think I have to do
That's
like
some really
6 of these. Seriously. What? Does not even exist there. I'm gonna give up soon. This is crazy. Okay, 3 timer. I did make a lot of keys today. Here. Oh, shit. Okay. Whew. Oh my gosh. No, what is going on here? Just cancel this whole thing. Okay, you have a key. I have some keys as well. We should be fine. So, oh, Sammy wants one too. Well, Sammy, if you want to help me to get through these captchas, maybe I can make another one. I think I am going to, I'll make one more. Just see if I can survive this. We'll do it later. So basically, we're going to use Anshul's key. But Sammy, if you want to message me on Twitter, I will get you a key later on. So So yeah, the costs for this are like not that bad. At the end of the day, it's like the Whisper is of course a bit more expensive than than just using an LLM. But yeah, so if we want to do like 1 hour, that would be 36 cents to I think 36 cents to transcribe it. So it does add up if you do a lot, if you have a lot of users, but it's not too bad. And then so yeah, so I want to show you how to connect that key to your notebook. So this is my notebook, and here on the left side, I have this thing for keys.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bonnie. And so I'm going to go to here, and fortunately, I have a key saved here. I hope it still works. But what you need to do is to like go to add new secret, and then you have to put it in like OpenAI API key, and then put in the key here. And I won't show your screen, so so the key is kept secret until you finished with that. Just make sure that this is exactly saying OpenAI API key here. Got it? Yeah, so make sure that for the name, it's written exactly like this. So in caps, OpenAI API key.
Okay, so I gotta create a new one. I put the wrong name.
You can rename the existing one. In this case, we could probably give it a different name, but cool. Yeah. Now just click the hide the eyeball, so you hide the under actions, so the key is hidden.
Okay,
Yeah. Cool.
got it.
So now I can share your screen again. So basically, there's a couple of ways to basically now connect this with the OpenAI library. And you see here in the error message, they give you two ways. Either we can pass API key to the client, or we can set the OpenAI API variable. I'm going to say let's do it the second way, just because that's a little bit more. Actually, no. I was gonna say the second way is a little bit more common, but the first way will actually be faster for this. So what you want to do is, you see that code where it says access your secret keys in Python? Yeah, so you want to copy that whole thing, and then paste that. You can put that in the same cell as the code that we're working on. Just put it at the top. Yeah. So and then for secret name, put and it's fine to run it again whenever you want to check. But for under secret name, put the name of the key, so exactly as we had it. Yeah. And now one last thing that we'd have to do is, I think inside, I think on the line that's underlined in red, I'm gonna open up the OpenAI API reference, so we have like a really good example of how to do this. But but basically we can pass that API key into the function where we're getting started here. I think I found it. Just here. Okay. Sending your API key. So here I'm on the OpenAI docs here, and so okay, install Python. We've done all that. Set up your API key. We've done that, and then there is a way to just pass in that API key into the parameter. So here I'll try it out on mine because I always forget exactly how it goes. So basically, we would do the same that you have, client equals OpenAI, which is going to cause an error. But then instead, I think we can do API key equals, and that didn't give an error. So just to show you again what I did there, inside of these parentheses, I made like a new line, and then I did API underscore key equals. And then what I want to do is actually use this code that we had copied in before, OpenAI API key, like that. And you already have this line at the top, so this will work. When we run
Okay,
that,
but what changed with this code?
What changed with this
What
code?
changed? Yeah.
So the only thing that changes here, I'll show your screen. I'll have a look at your screen. So the only thing that changes is inside of the brackets after you have client equals OpenAI, you do API underscore key equals, and then copy that whole part on the second line, or rather than that part, just copy the part you have above where it says user data dot get in the same cell. That one, yeah, just paste it, yeah, move it there, and yeah, that should actually do it. Cool. So we got farther now, and if you notice, like in my case, I didn't have this switch here on the left side. It hadn't been turned on, so it's going to ask if I give it access. In your case, it was already turned on. So anyways, the final thing actually we need to do now is we need to like have an audio file. We could just we can actually just like record one right now. So I could just go to, I'm just going to go to a website that I used recently, which is Online Voice Recorder, and I will just like show this. Yeah, okay, here. So it's literally just, this is the website, online-voice-recorder.com. So I'll just be like, hey everyone, this is James, and today I'm testing the Whisper speech transcription API. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to just like find that file that I just downloaded, and it's called test.mp3. And then going back to my notebook here, I can go to, going back to my notebook here, I can go to files and I can upload. I can upload this file. So, and then it's saying like, Collab doesn't save these files permanently when you close the window and you come back. That's all that it's saying here. So don't like keep stuff here permanently, but you can actually keep stuff in Google Drive and then access it from a Collab notebook. So now that that's there, well, I can send you this file, and or I mean, you can take any audio file if you have one, or I can give you this file. How do I test it? Test, post. Let's see if this works. Yeah. So you can, or you can take, or you can just download it here. I just uploaded it onto a website. I'll put it in the private chat too. And then you can just download it and upload it to your notebook. Cool. So yeah, what do you think we should do now?
I think we have to write a code wherein we access this file. So I think we're gonna rename this one with test.mp3.
Okay, almost. So let's like have a look at basically what are the different types of like keywords and stuff in Python. So you see that yellow text where it says open and print. So those are yellow, and those are functions. And then the white text, that's like audio file or model or transcription. Those are variable names. So those are just placeholder names, like x equals 5. You can just same as JavaScript. So changing the variable name won't change anything, but the red text there, which is the string, where it says path to file audio.mp3, that's something that we can change. So I think we should just change that to text.mp3. Yeah, exactly. And then I would leave that because that's that RB stands for reading a binary file, which is what we are doing.
Okay.
Cool, let's try it. Oh, cool.
Great.
Yeah. So let's just go through in our heads, like what are all the steps that we had to do to make this work.
Cool.
Yeah, so what do you can you just repeat to me all of the steps that we've done just now in order to get this to work?
All right. So first of all, we connected our notebook with OpenAI over here,
Mm-hmm.
and then we access the Whisper AI key from this
Mm-hmm.
part of code. One thing I
Yeah,
could not understand, what was the difference between this line of code that we first wrote and then we changed it to this? So what really changed and how it worked? That I did not understand.
yeah,
And after that, we accessed the audio file and we ran Whisper one model on that
yeah,
file, and then we printed the text that it generated.
yeah. Yeah, so let's go have a look at that that configuration part. That part is always a little bit confusing, and like I don't even always remember because this is a specific way in Colab. So
Hmm.
there's two lines that we added in the end. The first one is from google.colab import user data, and that one is basically just um, it's importing the user data module so that Colab has access to our environment variables. Just like from OpenAI import, OpenAI connects to like installs or imports the OpenAI module. Um, so from then on in the code, we can use user data. And then the API key equals part is that part on the left side. That's what OpenAI um, expects. That's where OpenAI expects to see the key. And then the right part, user data.get OpenAI API key, that's referencing the key in your secrets. So it's sort of like taking the key from the secrets and then plugging it into the OpenAI API key, sort of just like connecting the two. Does that make sense?
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. But one question again, when we wrote this piece of code, which
Yeah.
OpenAI is, right? Why did this piece of code not work?
Oh, like the second line?
Yeah, because like according to me, what I see, these both are the same, right?
Oh, well, one is secret name, one uses secret name, and the other one uses the name that we gave the secret. Is that what you mean? Or
Uh,
or you mean just using
no. So we entered this variable. Is this a variable or is this a function?
oh yeah, so that's a so open it so the function here is OpenAI, which is creating a new connection to the OpenAI server. And then API key is the name of an input to that function.
All right.
So yeah, so let's think of like um, this is a very abstract example, which is not going to be very easy for like it's not going to be very obvious to a beginner. However, um, this one here, right? This is exactly what we have. But like maybe a better way to do it would be like like cookies equals so like make cookies, and then we could have something like flavor equals chocolate, and then number equals 10. So this is sort of like this is a function, and in JavaScript you don't have this part. In JavaScript you only have this, um, and you can also write this like this, um, but and this is of course a made up function, but this is sort of what it's saying. It's saying, okay, the input is number, and then the value of that is 10. The input is flavor, the value of that is chocolate. Does that help?
Yes.
Yeah, and you don't know Python, so there's no way you could have known that. But
Right. Of course.
but it's more fun to learn from doing, I think. um,
It's much better.
um, so good. Now, the last thing that we wanted to do while we still have a couple minutes is we wanted to write this to the text file, right?
Right.
So if we scroll down, we have here text equals hello world. And well, there's a couple things we could do, but I think I would just delete the whole hello world part where that's in red, and also delete the quotes, and then just write transcription.text. So we also could have just changed that last line to say text file.write transcription.text. That would be the same, but this was the smallest change. And now, now let's just run this cell. And no output, but check the files.
Should I download this?
You could double click it. It should open again. Yeah. So there we go.
Cool.
So yeah, it's pretty simple what we did today, but
Yeah.
but it's a lot when you're new to Python, right?
Right.
Cool. Any questions or any remarks or observations?
Right. Definitely. So I I was able to do this, but I think I also gotta go back and start learning Python in order to understand and build on this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that. And like, how should I move forward on this project? Because I think that if I create a product that I'm thinking to create, it can provide value. It can be a good product. So how do I move forward on this?
What was the second part you said? It can be a bit what? It can be.
So I said that like if I'm able to create the product that I'm thinking to create, it
Yeah.
can be valuable, right? So how
Sure.
do I move forward with this?
I think we just add features in step by step. So right now this has no interface. It's just a script. It doesn't even do real time. So I think the next thing that we want to do is get some real time transcription working. Now, there's a lot of examples out there. Like I think the hardest thing that we did today was just the environment variable. That's not
Right.
something that's something everyone just has to go through. But most of the stuff out there is you can just find code and then you can just try it out. So I think one thing that is really helpful when you're learning is just to say, um, just to say, um, you know, give me the code back with helpful, detailed comments. I'm a beginner, and then kind of taking some code that we found on the internet and then just breaking it down line by line.
Yeah.
This is really helpful. So here we saw this RB. We didn't know what it was, but here it says open audio file and read binary mode. This is necessary because the file needs to be read as binary. Okay. And then replace this with the actual path. And so, yeah, like this is a good way to learn. And then also, the next thing that we'll probably do with this project, I think, would be to probably try out this Whisper streaming
Yeah.
project,
Definitely.
because okay, this is
Was it Whisper that was providing streaming one, or was it assembly? I think it was assembly, right?
yeah, it was assembly, but right now we have Whisper for free, so we have both options. So we could use. So this is an example. So this is basically, I'm trying to think if we can even do this in Collab, because Collab doesn't really run things streaming. You know, it's just run piece of code and then gives you the output. I don't know if we can make a user interface in Collab that does that. So we might have to look at some other examples like Python. We might have to look at some other examples, and we might even decide to go to JavaScript in the end. And the reason why is that, like, streaming has a lot to do with the user interface. You want to have something, you'd want to have an app running in the browser, right? So Python is not really good for that. So I think so I'm looking at this project. I think this will be quite similar to the Assembly AI one. I'll look at the Assembly AI streaming. So here, let's see what they have. JavaScript, TypeScript, Python. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit easier. But yeah, it's up to you. If you want to make like a paid account on Assembly AI, that might be a little bit easier to test it out. Because then, so this is just the back end, but we need the code for the front end. This could work. Yeah, maybe something like this. I think we have to look for a good example. Oh. Okay, there was an example here that's that they linked to from the blog. And it's completely gone. But so this is also not real time either.
Yeah.
We need to find. Oh, check this out. This is exactly what I was looking for. Okay, here we need to upgrade our account. Otherwise, you get this error. It's 6 months old. It's 6 months old, but I would say this is exactly what you're looking for. And yeah, good point. You're gonna have to learn some JavaScript as well. We can do the whole thing in JavaScript actually, but Python is more common. If we would just be like, for example, if we wanted to just generate like 100 transcriptions, then we would use Python. But if we want to make a nice interface that runs people's browsers, then we use JavaScript.
We learn both. Not a problem.
So yeah, I'm gonna send you this link, and then chat as well. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Abdul, for coming on. Abdul says,
I think it's a great kickoff to the project. I'll have some more work done, and maybe we can reconnect and see where we are, how we move forward.
Yeah, I think this looks like a really fun next project. I mean, today we got the basics done, and then this looks like the next level. That's pretty fun. Cool, awesome. Well, I gotta run, but yeah,
Sure.
let's keep trying, man. Good job.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. See you.
Right. Yeah.